Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos. Doggone it. My name is John Fahey. I am your host, John Francis John Boy. Joining me as ever, Izzy Jizzy Jeff.
He?
No. He's the Fresh Prince Albert.
Mike?
Aaron Joseph Peter.
That's your service.
To your right, my left, handsome Matt Brousseau. Cape God, Cape God.
Hello. Hi.
Ow. Frenchman hench.
What was that?
I don't know.
Like cool sound effect? It was a cool sound effect.
Yeah.
So when you showed up, I demanded you have some kind of response to the porno I sent you,
Yes.
which was...
Honey, I blew everybody.
You want to describe what the...
Yeah. It's.
You got a couple fellas.
You got and then you got a lot of names.
You got a lot of names running down the
Frank.
side. Because it's
Chester.
it's this woman, and there's two guys in tighty whities, which is a choice. I'm probably thinking, what do you think? Like 89, 91.
Yeah.
It has that kind of look, big hair, sort of.
Yeah, and like just that kind of cover where it's like not washed out.
Yeah,
But like-
there is something weird with the colors.
Yeah. Like the whole thing's a lens flare.
Yeah, the design team was, and then the font they chose, it all kind of blends.
Yeah.
But it's honey, I blew ...
Everybody.
Shout out to Ron Jeremy getting sent to a mental institution.
Did he?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, rape. But he's been in court for a while, and they made a case that he was unfit to stand trial.
Yeah, he looks like shit.
Oh my God, he looks like fucking Gollum and Gandalf together.
Unfit to stand trial?
Well, it could be a tactic that lawyers are like, just look like shit.
Dude, he's wearing like he's wearing like a mask, but like, and then like just white hair everywhere. It looks like
probably aging a lot in jail.
You know what's really bad? This is fucked up. Do you want to hear a really bad take?
Yeah.
This is a really bad take.
Sure.
It's a real bad take.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's really kind of like shitty justice that this rapist can go to jail and suck his own dick.
I don't know if he's that limber anymore.
No, probably not. He's
I don't know, man.
He's a fat guy.
I think once you can reach, dude, you're not letting that go.
Then why do you have to rape?
Yeah.
I know. It doesn't. It's.
Or maybe he just sucks at it.
Yeah, maybe he never got good at sucking his own dick.
Did you ever watch his doc? I did. And
Yeah?
I remember. Yeah, it's and they talk about like and like they're talking to like regular people in the street, and like there's some dudes, and they're like, yeah, he's Jewish. they're all pumped he's Jewish. Probably not pumped he's Jewish now. You know what I mean?
No, I can imagine.
But then girls were talking about what? Sucking his dick?
No, just keep going.
Then girls were talking about like how it's a big dick, but it's squishy.
Yeah, it's squishy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sinew.
Yeah,
not a rock hard.
Yeah, he's a
Diamond
shower.
Heart Skull Crack.
He's a shower. He's not a grower.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing when we would be out doing like comedy in Hollywood, like he'd be out all the time
In like a Saturn or something.
Yeah, a real shitty Saturn.
Yeah.
And you'd like be driving on the street, and you look and you see the fucking Ron Jeremy driving this, and you're like, it is Ron Jeremy driving this fucking shitty Saturn.
And he's like always got a flat.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's riding like the tiny spare.
Yeah.
The tiny hand wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good look.
And just like cruising, like wherever he's going, he's basically trying to pick up.
Do you want to tell about Lauren?
Go ahead. I think we've talked about it on the show before, but
Our friend Lauren was like, she got like this series of voicemails from Ron Jeremy.
she probably met him at the store, at the comedy store, probably.
Yeah, and she also had friends that were like in porn or whatever. So
Makeup artist for porn.
Yeah. But she got just this series of voicemails where he was like, hey, we're going to this after party, and
bunch of good guys.
yeah, and
It's at the Best Western,
no, and then they keep moving locations,
and it gets progressively worse.
and it just gets to like
a Ramada Inn,
like a Days Inn.
Oh God.
And then it was like, yeah, good guys.
Good, we got a bunch of guys here. We got some coke.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Days in, yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, we got some synth coke.
Yeah.
Couple of good guys.
It's a night's in.
Yeah, one guy, I don't know.
It's like 4 voicemails throughout the night where it starts at a Hyatt and ends up at a fucking
God.
Vagabond Inn.
Yeah.
Over here in Glendale.
We found an alleyway in Glendale.
Yeah.
I've only heard a few times about somebody being unfit. Just like that's like you're like a blubbering mess. Like,
I mean, you got to see what he looks like.
I guess, man. Yeah, I mean, he didn't look good a while ago.
No, now his hair's all white. His face is like melting off the bone.
It's crazy too, man. You know, he really hung in there. Like, you know, he had a lot of non-sex roles. He stayed in porn for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And even then couldn't. You know, when you're in the time that he was in it, and you don't make anything out of it really, like really substantially, like set yourself up or move on into a directorial or some other thing, then you're just like, well, I'm just a pervert and I like getting noticed and I try and fuck.
Yeah, but even that documentary I'm talking about, like that was like early 2000s. Like that's long after, you know, fucking when he was with Phil Prince in Manhattan.
Yeah, but it is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he really has no excuse is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was.
He definitely doesn't. No.
Yeah,
He's one of the few, like, you know, name recognizable porn stars. You just say the name and you know it.
Should have saved his money.
And it was a thing too where like it seemed like we did have like the nice answer to John Holmes. It was like, oh,
It ain't him.
And,
Nope.
and it turns out,
Turns
no. Yeah, you're like, fuck, he's a scumbag too? Shit.
Yeah, it's probably Peter North or something.
Yeah.
Peter North was on Adam
Tom
Carolla's.
Byron, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Diane. Feels so good.
Peter North was on Joe Rogan, Adam Carolla's podcast like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like when Adam Carolla was like one of the only podcasts around.
Yeah,
really.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he had Peter North on. He was just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool.
Yeah, he did some gay stuff.
Yeah.
Break into the industry.
Yeah. And then.
Oh,
just-
really?
Yeah.
To break in, really?
He had.
That's the way to do it.
He had Christy Canyon on at a live. I went to a live Adam Carolla show one time and met Christy Canyon.
Wow.
And she was.
They were both in the first porno I had.
Yeah.
The first one.
And so at both times, I feel like he made such great compliments. I think to Chrissy Canyon, he said, it must be so great that like you've just got this great, rack that's such a great magnet for taking loads that like you don't have to take them on your face, you know?
Oh my God.
And she was like, yeah, it was pretty nice. Like, I don't have to take a bunch on my face. And then for like, I think to Peter North, he was like, you know, it's great that you're like, you know, this tall, athletic guy, plus you have a big cock, and then it shoots big loads.
Good compliment. Yeah.
Like, you know, you got the hair, you got the physique, you know, and then you got a nice big cock.
Yeah.
Plus it comes a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So stupid.
What a gift.
Nat, I understand you have something for us today.
That's true, John.
Is it Peter North's secret?
Well, I assume it's a lot of water, hydrating.
Celery.
He works out a lot. Probably doesn't drink it that much.
Oh, real quick, I got to do a plug. February 18th at the Good Night, I am doing stand-up comedy.
Hey, all right.
The Good Night in North Hollywood, California?
Yes, at Avatar 2. And Jamie Loftus is headlining. She's super funny, so if you're in the
Wow,
area,
hey,
come
all right.
out.
Nice.
Greg Edwards will be on.
Hey, nice.
Oh, Greg's great.
Stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Catch it.
Yeah, catch it live. 8 o'clock Saturday, February 18th.
Nice.
At the Avatar 2 show.
Avatar 2 show brought to you by the Bussy Boss.
Joe K.
Yeah.
Gotta have him back on.
Yeah, dude.
I miss him.
The Staten Island Ferry?
That's good.
I call him Bussy Phillips.
That's good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Bussy Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spring that on him next time he shows, see what he thinks.
Big Buss. Sopranos.
Nice.
All right, Matt, I'm excited about this one because I've seen some of the ephemera lying around.
Yeah.
Paraphernalia.
Yeah. No, you got to put it somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Just leave it around.
And this one sounds really interesting because it goes into the world of the comic book, which Aaron and I enjoy.
I get that sense that you guys have some sort of like
Funny rags.
An inclination.
You know?
The picture books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main profile we'll get to eventually. Recommended from listener Patrick Z. Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks, Pat.
But first, I want to tell you about kind of the brief history of comic book advertising.
Please do.
Okay, and this comes from these couple Canadian lads, Bart Beatty and Benjamin Wu. Their study, Advertising American Comic Books, 1934 to 2014.
Hey, that's a pretty long stretch.
That'll really summarize it for you. Okay, so the comic book industry can largely be broken into two categories: a mass audience of children and a niche audience of adults.
Sounds right.
And now, so there's been an ebb and flow throughout comic book advertising history between these two. And you can see this ebb and flow reflected in the amount of advertisements and the type of advertisements that are used.
You bet.
And then eventually, the comic books with no advertising, those are largely for the more adult reader because the price of the advertisements is built into the price of the book.
Yes.
And I believe there was one of the quotes they used is that the comic books eventually would be viewed for children as sort of like a free lunch.
Right.
The advertising is what's the whole point of the comic.
Right.
Right. So
like most major magazines are today.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, it was a thing too. So the era I was growing up in the early 90s, when I was starting to go as a little boy, my grandfather would take me and he would give me like $20 on Friday, and he'd be like, "Just spend that." And so then you would kind of like what cover looks exciting is a big thing.
Sure.
But the ads did kind of trash it up. You didn't realize it until they were gone, and you were getting like those Marvel Knights type books.
Yeah.
Where you kind of saw it without, and you were going like, yeah, man. Because a lot of times it would be for a new video game.
A lot of like Nintendo Power shit.
Sega.
Genre movies like Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, with the knife.
Yeah. That was a big comic book ad. A lot of role-playing games.
Yes, that was always
D&D
big.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, good advertising. I mean, they're nailing the demo.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, by then they had got it.
Yeah. Do you remember this one where it's like, it's guys in suits as like Spider-Man and Green Goblin and like Doc Ock, and they're all like hovering over one of them playing like a video game.
Oh,
it was a lot. Like they put actors in suits, and
That's so smart.
It was a very cool ad that I remember.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That seems familiar.
Right.
Because there was a Spider-Man video game or something like that.
Yeah.
But then like the format too, like they would break it up and they would have like, there'd be like letters things in the middle, like, and you were going like, all of this is distracting from the story.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
It was at least a third of the book.
Like, why is fucking
Well, I mean, so I think even back then, if you had been drawn more towards the type of comic books you're reading now, you wouldn't have seen those. But the comic books you were reading back then, would be like
they're also single issues.
Wolverine 500. Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Wolverine 500. It'd be like, okay, it's like because you as an adult reader, you don't need the 500th
Right.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
You need like a series.
Yeah, you're as an adult, you're buying, you're buying the trade paperback.
Yeah.
As opposed to
the kid on the
weekend.
newsstand has only $4.
Yeah.
So he's getting the issue.
Yeah,
And he's not waiting for the trade. Yeah.
Exactly.
No patience, these fucking idiots.
Dumb kids, man. Okay, so when comic books started, they were generally ad-free. In the 40s and 50s, they began, and this is where the advertising peaked, the amount of advertising they used. And then there were three large contractions in the comic book ad in business. The first was the 50s when television arrived, and mass marketing on television arrived. The 70s, the newsstands collapsed. Not literally. That would have been a problem.
They were built pretty fine. They were actually built to code.
Yeah.
Was that something to do with the hostages?
Yeah.
The gas prices.
And then in the 90s, there's a speculator boom, of course, or bubble.
Yeah, where a lot of people realizing that, things like, Action Comics #1 or certain comics had value, that then they started just buying them up with the purpose of selling them later.
Yeah.
And that deflated their value.
Yes.
One of the things you got at the comic book store was the price guide. And you would buy you would buy it year after year, expecting to see these wild swings.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider 12.
Yeah.
12 cents.
Yeah. So if I get Ghost Rider 300.
300 cents.
So in the 30s, just in general advertising, merchants, manufacturers, advertisers, they started to market to children directly. There wasn't really an option before that. And then comic books, once they started running ads in the 40s, they also figured this out. It was a medium where they could advertise directly to children and cut out the middleman, their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids don't have to go, Mom, can I buy this? They'd be like, hey, I want this.
Hey, kids, tell your parents that you
Yes.
want.
Yeah. So the parents would be
Ask
like,
your doctor about.
you're going to read this comic book. The kid would say, it's the Ask Your Doctor, basically, yeah. And so there would be ads for national brands like Tootsie Rolls and Schwinn and Necco wafers. And
Yeah, good old Necco wafers. Ugh.
I don't know if I've had one.
Don't. You like flavored chalk sliced into discs?
Yeah, kids love them. It's insane that it's even still around. But then there would also be things like this. This is 1942. Jim Prentice announces his super electric football.
Yeah.
So that looks like a little electronic game.
Yeah, so it's just an electronic. It's just a flat board with a small current under it, and your players.
You might recognize it from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
As one of the games they play deaf
Yeah.
is electric football.
Yeah.
Oh,
and there's
wow.
electric baseball too. It's just.
There's no skill involved.
Yeah,
It's just like, what's the randomness of the electric current going to do to your little player on this board?
Got
Right,
it. Got it.
and here's for the Patreon people.
Order early.
You got it.
Order early.
Order before you even read this. For the Patreon people, I'll make a little gallery for you. This is from 1943. This is 1945. Bombs Away, and it's a
In
fake
43, huh?
fake cockpit for you to for the kid. It's probably just a pile of cardboard.
God.
It looked just like the ad
Brought
is.
to you by the OSS.
The ad is just a complete mess of words
Text. These
and
kids are
nothing
not
like
reading
this. Just madness.
Yeah.
Oh boy, more fun than a 3-ring circus.
And this is a collection of rubber masks.
Oh, I bet those are terrifying.
Yeah, those are the ones the Joker
1949.
used in The Dark Knight.
Yeah. You'd probably suffocate to death. I also like. They included minstrel.
As a character?
Oh God, yeah. That's
there's a
really
blackface
bad.
mask?
Yeah.
There's a black
Oh,
mask.
well, it is. I mean, it is a minstrel
I
mask.
guess it is better than putting on.
Yeah, I guess it's
blackface.
kind of a cultural commentary.
Hey, we're having a party. Make sure it's someone dressed.
All right, we got Mickey Mouse, we got the devil. Where's minstrel?
Yeah, we're in one of those whites. They've redlined the district, so
Yeah, we can't have any of our. Somebody here is going to be a senator one day. Where's the minstrel mask?
yes.
It's the only way to get in. You got to do it. People go to parties and be like, "What if I was black?
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Just stop.
What? That insane. Insane.
Like, why is that so crazy to you?
Hey, let's pose for pictures.
Yeah, let's pose for pictures. Oh, God. Okay, here's a couple more. This is from 1952.
Holy shit!
Hey, what?
10 free stamps with Hitler's face on them.
They're scarce. They're all different.
Yeah,
Hey, we'll send them free.
yeah.
Well, also free of like a baby's first Mein Kampf. What is that?
10 scarce stamps,
Yeah.
all different, sent free. Okay, first of all,
Was he like smiling and
First
stuff?
of all,
Like,
We got to get rid of these.
the price is definitely right. It's free. They're scarce. They're all in Brazil.
it was made. It says.
Why? What the fuck?
They said it was made in a place that doesn't exist anymore. So they
Eagle's nest.
They can't.
Yeah, it's a bunker.
Yeah, they can't have. They have no use for them. And it's like, but why are they? Do they work?
I guess they're collectible.
Yeah, you really want to set the tone on your.
I think Bert Kreischer owns all those now.
Here's a.
That's how it started. That's how,
Yeah.
it was-
No, I think, I think ever since the war, like there was just fascination.
And
And I think maybe that's the thing they would think, you know who I bet are weirdos for Nazis is those comic book kids that,
Yeah.
probably are going to kill us one day.
Yeah. I mean, then they wouldn't be the only ones. It's.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm like, like I talked about this before, but like I told you, like the Ramones, like even the Jewish ones, they were all fascinated with Nazis. They wanted to dress up like Nazis on the cover of their albums.
yeah.
It had, especially in the 70s, 80s when they had like, that Ilsa shit, there was like, it was just like a dark, perverse exploitation.
Yes.
And there is
And it's a repurposing of this fear.
And yeah, there's an allure to, this thing of like this unspeakable evil in
recent history.
And they're in like incredible outfits.
Incredible. Hugo Boss designed outfits.
Yeah, like there's something about it where you got to be like, well, it is fascinating, so anyway.
Okay, well, one more.
Now that I've made this huge campaign for why.
All right, stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of bad takes this episode.
Yeah, it's all right.
One more. This is from 1956.
Exciting ant farm.
Exciting ant farm. Yeah, this was a huge one.
We had one in when I was like in third grade. My class had an ant farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ant farms were huge.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, not a bad one. This is 1956.
And
Hey, kids, bring it.
and it
You know what
blew
your
up.
mom wants? Ants in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring them in.
Yeah.
But
what do they grow?
well, I mean, if you look at the picture, John, they have a farm.
Yeah.
Oh, they build.
Yeah, they build the farm.
Yeah.
Educational.
You get to see what their underground society looks like.
Yeah.
Fascinating. 298. What are we thinking for inflation?
Too much.
Maybe $15. I don't know. $20.
I'm guessing $20.
Yeah, $20. That's probably right.
Probably.
That's too much.
I'm
But that's fine, Hey, kids.
I got ants already. Pal.
Hey, anybody listening to this right now? Yeah, dude, dig up your backyard. You can find them. Okay, so that's 56, and that'll come up again. But what happens in for most of these ads, the real thing is not so much the product that they're selling you; it's that it gets you on a mailing list.
Right.
And so then the companies, then the people who get all of these names, then they can sell the mailing lists to someone else.
It's like Facebook.
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah.
Fuck.
And so what happens is in 1954, when the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Juvenile Delinquency has their comic hearings about horror comics and all of these things.
Yeah,
correcting the youth.
I'll tell you, man, those Hitler stamps didn't help.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine the mailing list that's getting you on? Holy shit!
Yeah.
You'd have that Jewish guy I did the profile on. He'd be in your fucking mailbox. White power. What?
What kind of stamps did they give you in the White Man comics?
It was more of a chemical burn.
Yeah.
Or they would put a corkscrew in a
Cyanide,
fire.
cyanide tablets.
Yeah. These are the ones Goebbels used. And so in the hearings, it is in the comic code. Eventually, they would lead to the comic codes. These hearings, the senators found that, for instance, the how to hypnotize people advertisement, that the people who replied to it, their names and locations were sold of their publishers, and one of the other publishers that it was sold to was also a publisher who would send out, so the publishers would get these and they would send just like mailers of like, hey, you can buy this stuff.
Oh, yeah, catalogs,
yeah. And so one of the catalogs had a sex manual in it.
Ooh.
And so parents were going, why is my son getting
he's out here trying to get reasonable tools to hypnotize the opposite sex.
Yes, exactly.
And just run-of-the-mill Hitler stamps.
Yeah.
And you're trying to educate him on coitus?
The last thing that's going to happen with this kid is coitus.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Nazi.
He's going to be a Nazi hypnotist.
Yeah, with X-ray specs on. Can you imagine? If you go in and your kid is like, he's
doing occult rituals with
Yeah.
Nazi stamps and X-ray specs on.
yeah, he's got an ant farm behind him.
God damn it.
Mom!
Get the sex manual, you idiot.
Jesus Christ.
So what happens is the resulting of this subcommittee hearing is that the comics have their own code of conduct, but that also extends to an advertising code of conduct.
And they correct me if I'm wrong, but the comics industry themselves
Yes.
establish the code authority.
There was an understanding like,
Let's
we
police
won't
ourselves.
do anything if you guys
Don't
do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like Major League Baseball and steroids, but
We police ourselves.
Yeah, it was a lot like the Civil War and the MCU.
yeah, and just the
Yeah.
Civil War in general in
Trust people
America.
with their
Yeah,
power. He was like this.
Yeah,
so
it's just like that.
So then comic book, it was a combination of this advertising code and then the sales started cratering. the advertising sales started cratering because of the...
Yeah, they had to soft pedal this bullshit.
No, because children's television. That's where the advertising money started to go. So comics, it was a combination of they couldn't do wild, crazy ads, and they then lost a lot of like Schwinn and like the big names for going to television.
Yeah.
So what happens? It's around this time that low quality mail order ads just blow up and take over the comic book advertising market, and that's where our profile begins today.
Low quality
advertising.
Yeah.
Brought to you
low
by,
quality mail order shit.
Okay.
Like I would imagine this is where like the back page of the comics had like 20 ads on them.
Yes. So these would be, you would see a lot more small ads.
Yeah.
But what we're going to talk about today fits in that genre, but would become very popular.
Okay.
To blow out of that genre.
That's fucking cool, man.
So we're going to talk about a guy born March 31st, 1926, New York City, Harold Nathan Braunhut. I get all my, there was,
German?
He, Jewish.
Okay.
And this is articles in the Seattle Times, 1988, LA Times, 2000, The All, 2011, his obit in the Daily Telegraph, New York Times article in 2016, and a video called Great Big Story that does a very short video history things. So he was born in New York City in 1926. He later claimed that his family moved to New York City from Memphis in 1931. This would not be the only part of his history that he would change.
Nice.
His parents were Edward and Jeanette Braunhut. Edward ran a printing shop, and Jeanette's family was in the toy business. His cousin, Harold's cousin, he said they were moderately religious Jewish family, and Harold was probably baptized, and the cousin says, I was probably there.
Probably.
Interesting.
From his memory. Harold attended the City College of New York and Columbia University Business School. He did not obtain a degree. That was in the 40s. But he would later say he was in the Merchant Marines. He claims he raced motorcycles under the name of the Green Hornet. He managed the Flying Squirrel, a.k.a. the diving daredevil Henry Lamothe, who would, Henry Lamothe, on his birthday at age 70, he dove 40 feet into a kiddie pool of water in New York City.
Oh my God. And lived?
And lived, yeah. He was a diver. Yeah. And during the Depression, he would go around and dive from heights into small...
You get the water rations.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they couldn't fill a pool for him.
Somebody piss in this fucking thing.
And they had to eat the horses, so the horses couldn't. Yeah. But no, Henry, even at age 70, he was an opening act for Evel Knievel.
Cool.
Yeah, the Flying Squirrel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, real thing.
Wow.
Braunhut would also say he was a magician under the name the Great Telepo.
Telepo.
Yeah.
That's in Syria, right?
You're very kunk about that. Yeah. Braunhut also managed Joseph Dunninger, a.k.a. the Amazing Dunninger, I say. Who was a magician, a mentalist, famous radio and television magician. Later, he became a guy who would debunk spiritualist phenomena, and he would do this on TV, do it on the radio. Became very famous for doing that more than his magic.
Yeah.
And he was on a television set for the Amazing Dunninger. I don't know. In the late 60s, that Braunhut met his second wife, Yolanda Signorelli.
Come on, Yolanda.
She was an actor in various hot lady roles in 60s bondage movies like Venus and Furs and All Women Are Bad.
Oh, God.
Among others.
Is that true?
You got to tie them up.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Yeah. And they also like being tied up. So
because they're bad.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Really?
Well, what do you do?
Even my brain is being tortured.
They like being tied up. You can't spank them.
No. They like, but I like it. They would be married in 1968. So now beginning in the 50s and throughout the rest of his life, Braunhut invented and patented gadgets and toys. And by the end of his life, he would hold 196 patents.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And, late 50s, he invented he patented two types of eyeglass frames, one with a third eye in the middle. Kind of a fun little toy thing. Another one.
It's so easy to fucking patent shit back then.
Oh, yeah.
What if I put a thing there? Patent.
No one's thought of dumb shit yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hey,
is
what if
dumb
you
as
put a lid on a toilet seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it can,
1938.
then it can talk. Yeah.
Give me that pee-pee.
I want that pee-pee.
Toilet seats couldn't talk until then.
So sad.
Yeah. They go, ah. One of his patents was, quote, amusement device simulating a dagger projecting from a pool of blood. Did
he invent fake puke?
No.
What about fake dog poop?
No. No. His invention would be bigger than both of those, man.
The whoopee cushion.
He also invented. I mean, he did a lot of eyeglass stuff. He did a pair of glasses with ridged lenses. So they're like, those
the
ones,
Raver lenses.
kind of, yeah, but it's without anything. It wasn't
Couldn't see
It
through
wasn't
it.
polarized. Or anything.
Yeah.
It's just ridged.
Yeah.
Like the back of an IROC Z.
It's basically putting a ripple chip for eyeglasses.
Ruffles have ridges, man.
He's throwing everything at it.
Yeah, I mean, go for it, man. You never know what's gonna stick.
I mean, so he would have a toy office at Fifth Avenue, New York City, in the same building where his mom's family's business was. So there are these nepo babies.
It's such a crazy fucking thing, man. Like inventing toys. Like,
Yeah.
You go like, what do people want to fuck with?
Yeah.
What do people just like,
All right, take a paddle. Put a string on it.
Yeah.
Put a ball on that string.
ball?
There.
This is fucking.
These kids are basically puppies.
Yeah. And it's really hard to find any true understanding of his motivations of why he did this, and you'll understand later. But because there's very few interviews with him about like, so what inspired you? And I think I imagine it had something to do with he must have really liked magic. To become a magician and then work with a magician.
Then you said what was it? His dad or mom in the toy industry?
Mom.
Yeah, his mom was. Yeah. And so and I will touch on it a little bit, but like the types of things he's inventing are personal magic of sorts, right? And we can get into that a little bit, but
Liquid smoke. Remember that stuff? Liquid smoke.
right, yeah. He invented one of his toys, and these would all be advertised in comic books. Amazing hair-raising monsters, which was a card. This was patented by him, but it was sold in comic books. It was a card with a monster printed on it, and the monster would quote unquote grow hair. When really it was actually mineral crystals when you added water to the card.
Got it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's
cool.
tinkering.
Shrinky dinks.
Yeah, I mean, maybe his most creative invention was the invisible goldfish.
Oh, I think I know where we're going.
So what it was is he would sell you would
A bag of water?
pay for the invisible goldfish. No, and he would sell you a handbook, fish food, and a glass bowl, and a sign that said invisible goldfish do not feed. And he said, I guarantee you will never see this goldfish. And he said it's sold out.
Don't feed it.
It's sold out immediately.
No fucking way.
Yeah. He said it was just selling. It sold out nonstop every time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think we know where this is going. This is great.
He invented one of it. We didn't invent this, but this was his advertisement. Crazy crabs.
These crabs, they're crazy.
Yeah. It was just hermit crabs.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, they won't poke you, they won't bite you. You can
But they
play
will
with
fucking-
them. Yeah, they'll crawl around.
Huh.
And the advertising would be
They
something.
sending those through the mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, send all sorts of shit through the mail.
I guess, yeah, they're up in a fucking shell. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the invisible goldfish, I believe, I was never able to find the exact time frame, but I believe that was his first big hit. His third big hit was X-ray specs.
Wow.
Nice.
And here, let me show you.
Now, do they,
So that's, so
It's not up on there.
that's not, oh, yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Thank you.
There you go. So that's from the packaging. And it's
now this was allowed by the comics code?
yes.
See-through clothing?
Well,
Okie dokie.
I think they knew.
Yeah.
Scroll up a little bit so we can see the stupid fucking lenses that are in them. Can you see that?
Oh,
Because they usually have like a spiral or whatever.
Yeah, they like the spiral.
I'll have to pull
There's
it
a
up.
lot of detail around this woman's vagina too, by the way. Like,
Well, John, how else would you know it's there? Because the specs aren't.
the artist is really
There we go.
Yeah.
the artist.
It's everything that's in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
it's
just,
definitely the most iconic look of any of that
Yeah.
stuff. And
they're just glasses with pinholes.
And here's the ad itself.
yeah, I remember seeing these just in reprints because I would get reprints of the old comic books, and they would still have these old ads with the addresses and all this shit that you got here.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I have some with me that I bought.
On from the back of a comic book.
No. The newer comics with the old ads.
Yeah, but I always wanted these. I was like, I know it's probably bullshit, but I still wanted
But
them.
what if?
Yeah, I mean, well, John, the good news is you can make your own. So what they are in general, there's it was originally made with feathers before he eventually figured out
How to make X-ray specs.
yeah with the double cardboard design. But what happens is when you look through the feathers, they were embedded in cardboard layers, and the veins of the feathers, they diffract the light, creating the appearance of two offset images. So when it says, "Oh, see the bones of the hand," all you're seeing is the outline of the hand around a hand.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's just the outline of a thing around a thing.
got it.
No nipples or nothing.
No,
Right.
can't see if they're big old flapjacks or
Or the long eraser tips.
yeah,
Yeah.
or, maybe
Something cool. I don't even
some
really know.
yeah,
cool, yeah.
some borderless. I like a borderless.
Yeah, ghosts and
And,
something.
yeah, ghost
borderless.
nipples. Yeah.
Those are great.
Those are really good. Yeah. I remember these things that were. It's weird because some of this stuff was still going on in the 90s, and it was kind of great too.
Radio Flyer.
Yeah.
It was kind of great too, though, because or even like the wrestling hotlines and stuff like that. There was just like a lot of stuff aimed at kids where it was like you could just get taken.
Yeah. Like
And-
everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
every single thing was a scam.
Yeah.
Every single thing, and you want it, and your parents know it's a scam because your room is filled with 10
Scam.
other scams.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, but this is like
This is the real
They're
deal.
saying this is the real deal, and it's amazing that like we ever became faithful consumers.
Or trusted our parents.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like everything we bought was fucking bullshit.
That never works.
Yeah, it was all a fucking lie.
Well, I mean, I think I would say we're all pretty smart about consumption. I test my drugs.
I think me and
That's
Aaron,
only stuff that works.
yeah. I think me and Aaron are the same type of we enjoy a new purchase.
I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
new
yeah.
purchase even if it's
It's embarrassing, but
but like
Yeah,
hey,
no,
it's the thrill of the purchase.
Yeah, well, there's the search and the find.
Yeah, and
then
that
you get
delayed,
it.
especially with what we're talking about here, like
Yeah.
the delayed gratification
Yeah.
and the promise
yeah, and that I think is kind of what you're buying.
that is what you're buying.
Is the hope
Yeah.
and the waiting and
Well, I mean, that's why the advertisement is designed as it is.
yeah, and like and again, to the point, like what I'm saying, like in the 90s, like it didn't really change much. Like maybe they had introduced credit cards and maybe they had a phone number, but for the most
and
part,
maybe and a disclaimer that it was for entertainment only.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're playing the D&D, your hair's not being blown back by some mythical goblin.
Right. No, but I'm saying like it was still sending a fucking money order to a PO box.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
It was still that way.
Yeah.
Those pills did not make my dick bigger. Well,
Well, I mean, not maybe if you did it around us, it would have.
I think puberty did.
Yeah.
At certain angles.
Yeah.
So,
Especially if I wear those specs.
so like I said, the X-ray specs were his third big hit. It was just 2 years earlier that he had the hit of his life. So we go back to those ant farms, right? They became big in 56 and 57. Or 56. And so in 57 or 60, depends on which source you're reading, Braunhut tries his hand at a similar version of the ant farm using brine shrimp tiny little aquatic crustaceans. Now, on their own, as eggs, this is how I believe I understand, they had a natural suspended animation, just as eggs.
Yeah.
And then when you dropped them in water, in about 24 hours, they would hatch. And so his version of it was called Instant Life. And he started advertising, and it sold all right. But then Whammo, giant toy company at the time,
Whammo.
they dropped a similar product called Instant Fish, which was dehydrated eggs of African killifish. But the killifish didn't reanimate very well, and the product immediately bombed, and with it bombing took out Instant Life as well.
Oh, why?
Because it was the same similar sort of thing.
Takes
similar
a whole
sort of
industry of dehydrated crustaceans.
Yeah, just off the market. But a couple years later, Braunhut, working with a marine biologist at the New York Ocean Science Lab in Montauk, of course.
I need something to fuck with these kids.
In Montauk?
Yeah.
These are the Montauk Monsters.
This is fucking Manhattan Project.
Yeah, exactly.
with these stupid
Jeff.
They
Jeff
have the shed out back.
Yeah, they're fucking around with shrinky dinks.
Also insane invention. There's a process that they called super homogenation.
Oh God.
And what they did is they created a hybrid brine shrimp from the brine species Artemia salina. And,
La Reina Selena.
and what happened is these brine shrimp, these hybrids, were hardier and they survived shipping really well.
Nice.
And the thing that he patented from this was a chemical mixture that allowed the creatures to hatch and live much more successfully than if they didn't have it with that. So that was his big patent on this. But the thing was, it was the advertising.
Yeah.
The advertising of it was what really sold it.
Yeah.
And
You can't call it Instant Life.
no, right. Not instant life.
What is that? Cereal? Sounds like a cereal.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna freak your parents out.
Yeah.
And so the 2016 New York Times article about the legacy of all this, the author writes that Braunhut was perfectly reading the tea leaves of how vaudeville and magic was leaving the big stage of live theater and entering the small stage of television. And his advertising was the reading of this. Invisible goldfish, X-ray specs. To me, what he's selling you is he's selling you almost on yourself in a way. You can be a magician without ever having to learn magic.
All
You
you
just
need
have to
is
buy my
A
product.
self-addressed stamped envelope
right.
and $2.98.
Yeah, you can blow people's minds just with this thing.
Yeah.
That you don't have to do any work at all.
Yeah.
No
Just steal it
practice.
from your parents. Steal the money. And so it was this combination of this advertising magic that Braunhut now calls his new hybrid brine shrimp sea monkeys. And this is what the advertising looks like. Oops, you can see that? There you go. Oops, don't fade to black.
Look at those fucking sea monkeys.
Enter the wonderful world of amazing life.
Right?
Sea monkeys.
They have tails, these brine shrimp.
They got fucking breasts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they have smiles.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Hairdos.
a whole family here. The white family with the blonde mother. They're all enjoying the view.
They're so eager to please. They can even be trained.
They can even be trained. Now, the thing with the sea monkeys is they're attracted to light, so you just drag a light around and they'll follow it.
Oh.
They can't really be trained.
Yeah. This is really crazy stuff. They really
Oh yeah, I mean it's just
they got a little castle in the back there. I mean it's really good.
the wonderful world of the amazing live sea monkeys.
And
A
so
bowl full of happiness.
They have the family looking at the bowl, but they also have a family of sea monkeys
yes, in the bowl.
in the bowl,
Yeah.
and they're just having a dandy time.
And if you look at the artist rendition of the sea monkeys, that would later be used in the cartoon.
Yes. Yeah.
They made a cartoon of it. I don't know not to step on, but they stayed faithful to the original ad.
Yes.
Wow.
With those stupid 3 heads.
Yes, I forget I forgot who the artist is, but he,
Oh, the little crown-looking thing? Yeah, the 3 antennae.
yeah, Braunhut would credit the author or the designer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Or at least say, I don't know how much money he gave him, but
Only $1.
so here's how the system worked. They would send you this 4-step system So what would happen is this is what they called it. A starter aquarium with a starter kit with a small aquarium and 3 numbered packages and a feeding spoon. So number 1, water purifier. You put that in first, they say. 2, instant live eggs. Put that in second, they say. Instant live eggs. 3, growth food. And then the spoon. And then you add that to plain tap water in that order. And based on the schedule, including the directions, they'll appear in the tank in 24 to 36 hours. They start out small. They grow to 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in length over 4 weeks. And sometimes this version of them, this old version, could live potentially for a couple years.
Get the fuck out of
They
here.
grow legs. They sprawl up out of the muck.
Yeah.
They learn language. They grow
Yeah.
prehensile thumbs.
Yeah.
They take over your life.
Yeah, they answer the green.
Yeah, and so they market it as being able to do tricks. It's biological. They're light sensitive. They can be trained to follow a light source. Outside the tank, they're translucent. They're born with a single eye. They might grow to.
Yeah,
When they're
depending
mature.
on your water. If you're in Flint,
Right. Yeah. But the entire colony can reproduce sexually or asexually on a regular basis. So if they are hardy enough and live long enough, they can go. But
What a fucking dreadful existence.
But here's a
otherwise
little.
they're just gonna get eaten by whales.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, this type of shrimp, the brine shrimp, is grown in large form as fish food.
Yeah.
Just in the eggs and. But here's a little trick that
Feed them to your invisible goldfish. Actually, don't.
Yeah, don't know. Dude doesn't want to eat. Here's a little trick that Braunhut did
Not after midnight.
for the system there. Number 1, it says water purifier. And number 2, instant live eggs. When in fact, number 1 was eggs that took 24 hours to hatch. And number 2 was a small portion of blue dye that when it hit the hatched sea monkey would show it off more. It would stand out from it would be more translucent without the blue dye, but you could now see it.
Yeah.
So
I see.
So he's saying, oh, you're adding the instant live eggs, when in reality, you're adding a blue dye.
You already added the live eggs.
You already added the eggs. Now they're hatching 24 hours later, and the blue dye is now letting you see them.
Wow.
Smart.
Yes.
Yeah. He's fucking around a lot in that office.
Yeah. What can I do, man? These fucking monkeys, man. I can't fucking see them. But I wanted invisible goldfish. I got them.
I bought 2 million of the things for $12.
This is the 2016 New York Times article. This is a quote from it. With sea monkeys, Braunhut took his marketing to new levels. He spun off numerous whimsical books, all kinds of imaginary advice for caring for the tiny critters. You could coddle them with a sea monkey banana treat or Cupid's arrow mating powder.
Cupid's arrow mating powder.
You go, I want these monkeys to fuck.
Spanish fly for monkeys. Synth coke for sea monkeys. You want to get them to fuck? These sea monkeys will suck your dick in 24 to 36 hours, man.
I put on my X-ray specs to know when the monkey wet.
They already X-rayed, man.
There were timely variations of the toy. There was a space sea monkey kit, sea monkey speedway that deployed giant eyedroppers to create race courses. The same experiment was repurposed into kits for Sea Monkey's ski trial, Sea Monkey's fox hunt, Sea Monkey's mystery robo-diver. In 1992, CBS broadcast a Sea Monkey TV show starring, naturally, Howie Mandel.
Yes.
In 2006 alone, the sales for Sea Monkeys were $3.4 million.
No.
Holy
no.
shit.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
In 2006?
Yes.
I had sea monkeys.
But okay, what? Wow.
Yeah.
From comic books still?
Oh, no.
Probably just
Amazon.
I mean, well, they had a TV show, you know?
Dude, you can get...
Yeah.
Dude, sea
had a
monkeys are
TV
still
show.
like... They still sell that shit. Like even just as a form of nostalgia, you go like Spencer's Gifts or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Those things, as
It's just in a packet.
yeah.
And the thing about the packet is that one of the I think the one from the New York Times article in 2016 got one of those original packets from the guy's wife. And so today the ones you buy in the stores, those are probably a Chinese knockoff because it's been licensed out and some other company is now doing it. but the original ones actually still today in the old packets still do better.
Wow, you got to get the original.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We've perfected this, guys.
Chinese sea monkeys. Like,
There would be like 10.
so
they're collecting your data.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Braunhut was not done inventing after sea monkeys. He also invented the game Balderdash.
No shit.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
And if you go through his patents, you can see he invented a insect trap, an insect observation center, the aquatic speedway.
The Raid Moch Motel.
Yeah.
Roche Motel.
The magician's bag is it's a bag. It's a magician's bag. But then at the end of his list, in the early 1980s, you see two items vastly out of place with the rest.
Okay.
One is a ballistic garment, basically a chest protector, not bulletproof. But here I'll show you the
The ballistic garment.
You might not have been planning to wear bullets tonight.
He was the tailor for the Kingsman.
Ballistic garment.
Okay, it looks like a bulletproof vest.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that schematic, huh?
Yeah, and another thing that he patented was it was under the title Spring Whip Defensive Weapon. It's described as a defensive weapon for emergency use to disarm an attacker carrying and intending to use a knife, gun, or any type of offensive weapon. It's basically
A grappling.
Oh, it's like a fucking
A gribba. Is it Daredevil's baton?
it's a spring-loaded baton, basically.
yeah.
Nice, dude.
And he called his the Kyoga, Kyoga.
Okay.
That is in use a lot.
Yeah, so is the Kyoga Agent M5 or the Steel Cobra. And
Nice, dude. Steel Cobra?
yeah, and so this was advertised.
Turn anybody into a sea monkey.
This was also advertised in comic books, and he it became public when in I believe it was 1979 he was arrested in New York City for carrying one because a cop said that's a concealed weapon. You can't. You need a license for
And
that.
he just pretended to
he
be
went
blind?
to court. Yeah, he went to court, and the judge said you don't need a license to have that.
Yeah.
But it leads to the question: the guy making the sea monkeys,
Yeah.
why is he making this vest and spring-loaded baton?
Everybody's after his fucking money. He's a fucking millionaire.
Dude, he's probably a spy.
Well, I'll give you one hint.
monkey business.
I'll give you one.
He's up to some monkey business.
I'll give you one hint.
What?
At some time in the 1950s,
Yes.
Harold Nathan Braunhut changed his name to Harold von Braunhut.
Is this about like free Hitler stamps?
Harold von Braunhut?
We should take a little break.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. A very mysterious cliffhanger. We'll be back with more on von Braunhut. And we're back. Folks, at this point, I'm just going to say, Patreon,
Please.
$5 a month. We're trying to build a studio. We just bought a neon sign, thanks to Aaron.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's thanks to you guys.
Yeah, no,
Thanks to viewers at home.
all
And,
the
and
patrons,
listeners
yeah.
like you.
And listeners like you.
Yeah.
Join us. Won't you? No.
Yeah, we've got a custom neon sign of the logo, which is a neon sign.
Yeah.
Makes
Order
sense.
is placed. A few short weeks, that'll be ready to go into the studio. State of the art.
State of the art.
Spared no expense.
Oh,
Dimma.
the
We got a
state
dimma.
of
A dimmer,
art.
a flickers.
The flicker, dimma.
We got a nice big long wooden table.
Oh,
The bar, the mini fridge. We're not gonna have to go get up and go anywhere to get a couple of bubblies. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Recessed lighting.
Yeah. And we do an extra episode per week. Aaron, you just did some more fan fiction.
yeah, that
Yeah.
Erotic fan fiction.
Yeah, not my own. Not this time.
Not your own.
Some great people at the Archive of Our Own web forum submitted some wonderful fan fiction. We had some Swamp Thing and John Constantine.
Yes.
And we had some straight up incestuous Fantastic Four stuff. Futanari, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I got into this fame book that I'm obsessed with right now.
We're doing some weird shit on the Patreon.
We're doing weird shit over there, and I want you to be a part of it. And all you got to do is give us 5 smackaroos a month, baby.
Or more.
And also, shirts. Do you want a Freak at the Teak shirt? Do you want the Profiles logo?
We're clearing them out.
In the Ramones, yeah. And we got to do a new one too. We're
gonna come up with some new shirt designs.
I'm kind of thinking,
we got a new season of Profiles coming up.
I want I would kind of like a 1-800-GAY dude shirt.
It's for you, Dad.
Dad, it's for you.
On the back.
That's really good.
I think it's funny.
That's really good.
So we have, of course, the Hard Pipe Hitters Union shirt, which is a very niche joke, a very niche joke about a male-on-male rape scene from a very famous movie. What's the other one? Oh, Piss! It's number one.
Yeah,
this is
based on the Newport Newport.
Now illegal
ads.
advertisement.
Just
illegal. No, always been illegal.
Yeah, approved by the Comics Code Authority.
Yeah.
Now, Matt.
Yes.
You just said that. Now, can you spell the last name?
Braunhut. Braunhut.
Okay. Braunhut. Yeah, and so he changed his name from
Harold Nathan Braunhut.
Harold Nathan Braunhut
to
Harold von Braunhut.
Right.
So more Germanic, if that's possible.
Yes.
Now, why would he do that?
Well, it was revealed 1988.
Uh-oh.
Mentioned in a fundraising letter for the Aryan nations that $25 of each sale of the Kyoga spring-loaded Steel Cobra goes to Richard Butler, the founder and leader of the Aryan nation.
What?
This is another Jewish Nazi?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
These guys, I tell you what, Nazis would be nowhere without these Jewish guys.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched Raiders of the Lost Ark in preparation for the we're gonna go see some Indiana Jones movies this weekend in the theaters, and it's another one where like it's Nazis using Jewish shit to try to take over the world.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable by this Hebrew ritual, Mr. Belloc.
Yeah.
It's like,
Are you familiar with Kabbalah?
Yeah, put on this yarmulke. We're going to do some Nazi shit. I mean, dudes make the best chicks and Jews make the best Nazis.
Yeah, you said it, man.
So this is a January 22nd, 1988 Seattle Times article titled "Sea Monkey Man Hatches Something Much More Insidious" by Eric Lactis. And
well, we knew because he did the selective breeding. He was into eugenics. He made an Uber fish.
Yeah, he did.
He made the Uber monkey.
Should have really said it.
They live for several more years than the Chinese counterparts.
Does this have the strength of
also
3 sea monkeys?
Also, he divorced his Jewish wife for an Italian woman. So
she was a Jew lover.
So,
God damn it!
In the Seattle Times article, I had to access the archive, and so the formatting isn't there. So I don't know if this line is from this actual article or the article is saying this interview with him is from Bill Moreland, the Spokesman Review in Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
But this is what it said. I called Von Braunhut, who is 61 and lives in a 100-acre estate in Bryans Road, Maryland. I told him that many of those people who as kids bought the sea monkeys would be surprised to learn that the man behind them was supporting Butler. And this is Von Braunhut. Let me ask you this. Why are so many people sympathetic to Martin Luther King? I've never seen a picture in the papers of him addressing actual communist organizations, and there are plenty of pictures that could be picked out from the files. It was a rambling reply that he gave. Van Braunhut went on, giving this example of his feelings about race. The Koreans own every mom and pop store in New York. Ever been in one? The inscrutable, slanty-eyed Korean eyes just looking at you, it's there. The buying of America, it's happening in all major cities. He concluded, you know what side I'm on, I don't make any bones about it.
Just during the break, John asked a great question about comedy. And he said, "Is it okay to do a racist joke if it's in the voice of somebody else?" And I think the answer is yeah. Oh God, the Sea Monkeys guy is a Jewish Nazi.
Yeah.
Man, that's fucking. I mean, I guess what I said about the Hitler stamps,
It all fucking ties itself together in a nice bow.
I didn't want to say too
in the
much.
shape of a swastika.
I didn't want to give it away.
There's something about, it's like how, any YouTube poll, man, it's going to white power shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why does it always go there?
I think that's just you, man.
It's a place to go.
No, it's not just me. That is straight up algo on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you interested in this white power?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Are you tired of being trampled on by
Yeah.
the invasion?
Are you ready to wake up, white man?
It's not the white people that's the problem. Let me tell you.
And
even though everybody in
so
Congress is.
Does the journalist talk about his Jewish identity?
So at the time there wasn't as much known, but later, and I believe a lot of this comes from the 2000 LA Times article, where Tamar Brott reached out to the Anti-Defamation League, and the ADL said, "Oh yeah, we got a file on this guy. Thank you for asking." No one thought about asking. I bet they have a file on a lot of people we wouldn't know about.
Well, they definitely got one on Aaron.
Yeah, man.
So, from the Anti-Defamation League, and I believe most of this is from the LA Times article, there's pictures of Von Brott posing in front of a Nazi flag, as well as him being listed as the leader of the Imperial Order of the Black Eagle, which was based in New York City. A small group, but he was the leader of it because he started it.
Big fish.
And he's listed as that.
Tiny monkeys.
He's listed as that, the leader of it in the 1984 Aryan Nations Congress list of, quote, outstanding nationalist leaders. At least one point during one of the Aryan Nations Congresses, he was the guy who lit the cross. Whoa! When living in Maryland, he was asked about these activities. He replied, "I'm not burning any crosses on my front lawn. I'm not holding secret Black Eagle meetings or racial meetings or KKK rallies. I'm not bringing my ideology to the any ideology to the area." However, it should be noticed from the ADL, he published newsletters. There's a newsletter from an organization called the National Anti-Zionist Institute, headed by
the Nazis?
Yep. Yep.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. That was headed by Henrik von Braun.
Oh.
And
Von Braunhut or Von Braun?
Henrik von Braun.
Okay.
Yeah. He shortened it even more.
Okay, so he changed. He even went more.
Yes.
He just got short.
And the address for that organization was the same address that you mailed money for Sea Monkey paraphernalia.
Oh my God.
Wow.
In his study in Maryland, his Maryland house, there was a German war poster autograph from 1940 by Goering, an inscribed photo of Mussolini, and a picture of World War II German aircraft signed by the Luftwaffe's top 4 aces.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
A former spokesperson for the Aryan Nations, since reformed, recalled Van Braunhut as a slight balding man who usually wore all black with, quote, a rather large nose for a person of the Aryan Nations.
Oh my God.
And he was kind of weird, he said. He'd give long speeches about numerology and he'd make reference to the pyramids. It just didn't play well.
Oh God. He thought his X-ray specs worked.
Do you get kind of vibes of like all the cops that were in the neo-Nazi biker gang? Mm-hmm. Where it's all Jews in the Nazi biker gang.
Yeah.
They're all kind of looking at each other like, oh, we'll talk later.
God damn it.
The ADL said that rumors circulated about von Braunhut, but they felt he was a solid, dependable, extreme right-winger regardless. He's just one of them and can be trusted.
Yeah.
It's one of the good ones.
It's the same thing with the guy I did.
Yeah.
He's reliable.
Yeah.
Braunhut is quoted as saying Hitler just got bad press.
Yeah?
Just got bad press? So if he got good press, it was fine.
I mean, he did have good press for a while.
He did have
Yeah,
good.
he controlled it.
He did have good. I mean, yeah, even in America.
In the States,
yeah.
the guy fucking Lindbergh.
Oh, in Germany, forget
Yeah.
about it. The press was nuts about the guy. France, they were all like,
dude,
well, I can't get enough Hitler.
I gotta have me more Hitler.
Give me that Hitler.
So, I mean,
I love Jewish women. Hitler.
Hitler.
Oh.
Like a vault.
but, it was, despite his quote unquote appearance, his money and his writing was well accepted. There was one newsletter where he said the best diamond is the purest diamond.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I'm sorry.
The best diamond is the purest, whitest.
Oh, that's a white thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So
But don't mix the races.
But you said it was accepted?
By them. By the Nazis.
yes,
by
because
the
of his
National
writing.
Anti-Zionist Industry.
And his money. I mean, he was like you have to spend a lot of money, I imagine, to be the guy who lights the cross at the
Yeah, throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude.
But his money it went to various causes, including in 1981 he financed the purchase of 83 pistols, rifles, and revolvers for a leader of the Ohio Klansmen. He did cooperate with the U.S. attorneys when they brought the charges against the Klansmen, and even showed up in the Grand Dragon, and he even brought them the sea monkeys when he.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
Who? The Klansman?
No, von Braunhut.
He brought the district attorneys fucking free sea monkeys.
When he went to cooperate with selling the weapons or financing the weapons.
He's going.
Some of you are on my mailing list.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Dave, good to see you.
Hey, hold on to those stamps, okay, buddy?
We're gonna be worth a lot. We're gonna be worth a lot.
It's gonna be currency after everything goes down. You don't want to eat those sea monkeys too.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be good for 40, 50 years in cold, dry storage.
Sea men, sea monkeys, hey, whatever.
Dude, what the fuck?
So he didn't do time or anything. He just folded on people he was conspiring with.
Just that guy, at least.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that I didn't see anything about him folding on anything else.
Okay.
And even after all of this came out, there's no evidence that he was ever kicked out of the Aryan Nation. In fact, in 1994, this company Basic Fun bought the license to Sea Monkeys. Alan Dorfman, he was the president of Basic Fun. Also,
He sold it to a Jew.
Also Jewish. He read.
He sold it to a Jew.
Your fucking glee at that is really getting me.
Oh, God.
Well, there's business and pleasure, and he really separated them both.
Good for him.
I mean, the 2016 New York Times article is talking to his wife because there's a whole thing about the estate, and it's like at the end of the article, he's like, "Oh yeah, so I found out that he's like a Nazi," and he asked his wife, and his wife goes, "There's some things you just don't talk about."
Good wife, good woman.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We just don't talk about that. We don't talk about race.
It seems like it's kind of a lot of his identity.
yeah. It seems like you walk in the study, you don't need to talk
I think
about it.
there's some things that I don't talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because if you walk in,
I don't get to talk
if you
about.
walk into the breakfast nook,
Yeah.
he's going, "I'll tell you about the Koreans." Like
Oh, Heinrich.
so yeah.
So there's
He sells it to a Jewish person.
he licensed it to Dorfman.
Oh, okay.
Dorfman. And in 1995, a New York Times article comes out and identifies von Braunhut as a featured speaker at the 1995 Aryan Nations Congress. So Dorfman reads this, and he severs the contract. But as in the midst of his severing the contract, he's approached by another company, Educational Insights, who wants to buy the license. Their founder and chairman is Bert Cutler, also Jewish. Bert Cutler says, "Yeah, I know the story. I don't care."
The sea monkeys are big business.
And they were. They were.
Yeah, and this is business. Like the great thing too is that like, where all the power is like the money, and he's just donating to the Nazis.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, they're not business people.
Yeah.
He's going, not just the kind of people you give money to.
Yeah.
They got no Jews then. What, do you think I did so well?
I wouldn't have been Jewish if the Aryan Brotherhood didn't need me.
God, that is really stupid. I love it.
So Harold von Braunhut would die in 2003 after a bad fall.
Poor guy.
From Grace?
But
Slipped on a sea monkey.
Whoops. His fucking hermit crabs ate him to death.
I got all kinds of shit crawling around here.
But there are multiple companies that would license sea monkeys, and multiple companies that would, upon licensing it, be told by some reporter that
It's just not the same.
that you know
The
the guy.
superior race of sea monkeys.
What, do you want me to buy the Chinese ones?
Well, you know the guy that did it, and the 2000 LA Times article has this great moment where the reporter is talking to these guys, and one of the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I hear every time that guy does an interview, there's some fallout. I don't want to know about it." And then another one goes, "Oh wait, no, I didn't hear any of that." And so the LA Times article sends him some info, and he goes, "Oh well, Braunhut sent me a letter saying that he is not doing that." And the LA Times reporter goes, "Hey, can you send me one?" And the guy goes, "The fax machine's broken." and there's another one. The LA Times reporter goes like, "Hey, so I mean,
Still taking the Nazis' money, huh?
yeah. So like, wait, do you don't think he did it?" And the guy goes, "No, I read that Nazi stuff you sent me, and it's so poorly written. There's no way this guy could have done it."
Wow.
And it's just all
we got a lot of orders for these sea monkeys, and I'm just following orders.
I'm filling orders.
Just filling orders.
52 units to Des Moines this week.
Yeah, so in 2016, there's a whole the New York Times article goes into how there's a whole disagreement where the company that owns the license, they think that they own the sea monkey, the whole everything. Meanwhile, then Braunhut's wife is saying, "No, you don't. You don't even use the real sea monkeys."
Using the Chinese knockoff.
And so they were in arbitration. I have not seen if it was ever settled in any way, but that's the story.
Well, we're going to have a follow-up on this because it is just rich.
It really is.
We got to find out what's going on with these sea monkeys.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
talk to
man.
China.
I don't speak Chinese.
for the love of God. It's perfectly tacky.
It's
incredible.
perfectly tacky.
And it's
The
just
Jewish sea monkey guy.
and it being that, of course, is the tacky. But what is even more tacky is that the business of sea monkeys is so lucrative that people are. It's hard. Business is business.
Yeah.
It's sea monkeys. Like, it's not oil. Like, you know,
I
we deal with Saudi Arabia because they got all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But like, I mean, listen, man, yeah, say what you want about the guy, but his sea monkeys, like.
Yeah.
These are Class A sea monkeys.
Yeah.
And it's not that Chinese bullshit.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
What do you want me to do? It's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that the tackiness of the business.
Yeah. And an LA reporter being like, you know, that's like Nazi guy money, right? Like
These are blood monkeys, man.
Yeah.
Blood. No blood for monkeys.
And then also,
That's a good movie. Blood
Monkey
Blood
see, monkey don't.
so good. Yeah. What was it? The Order of the Black Eagle?
Yeah,
Right.
Imperial Order of the Black Eagle.
Imperial Order of the Black Eagle. Like, it does seem like he is like a kid in a treehouse.
Yeah, he's fetishized.
Yeah.
He sounds like the kind of guy that would order sea monkeys.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Somebody sold him a Black Eagle pen,
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
and
exactly.
he was like, "Oh, dude,
Imperial
no
Order.
girls allowed."
yeah.
Some Jews.
The to be a grown man and to found the Imperial Order of the Black Eagle
And dress in all black.
and then you know,
he just wanted to be a part of a club.
Yeah, but not Jewish club. Though he did, according to according to records, he did pay for the upkeep of his parents' headstones in a Jewish cemetery.
yeah,
Well, it's nice.
But that's different.
There's parents.
sure, yeah,
That's yeah.
good.
He still paid over $10,000 to a Nazi so they could buy 83 guns.
Not 88.
He did.
The business wasn't that good.
yeah. Slow move.
Really?
Slow movement on the monkeys.
yeah.
That's that's fucking insane. Like,
Dude, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, but kudos to that one toy company president who was like, "Oh fuck,
yeah.
cancel the contract."
Yeah.
National Anti-Zionist Institute. Wait a minute.
Just a second here.
Oh, it's too many letters. Let me
Let me
abbreviate
just abbreviate
this.
it on the check here real quick. What?
Whoa.
Cut. 4 L's. Wait a minute.
Just a second.
I mean, send the check, but
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking character.
See, I mean,
Heinrich von Braunhut, and then just Heinrich von Braun.
yeah. Well, he was Henrik von Braun.
Yeah, wow.
But Harold
Harold
Nathan
Braunhut.
Braunhut to Harold von Braunhut.
And then to Heinrich von Braun.
So you had to because it was like growing up name Harold Nathan Braunhut, business name Harold von Braunhut,
Yeah.
Nazi name Henrik von Braun.
It's so I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure somebody
Evolution of man.
much smarter than me
Bad man.
knows more about this, but there is that thing about Jewish names, and they made fun of it with Berg on Curb Your Enthusiasm, where it's like the lawyer, where he's really Swedish,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, Berg, I thought you were a Jew,
Yeah, he's like, no,
but he's doing he's going to Jewish things, and so he's just but it's so great too, because the attitude of the show is just basically saying oh well, no Jewish person would ever not have a Jewish lawyer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is amazing.
Right.
But I mean, I knew a bunch of older German Jews, and it's so crazy where because a lot of the names are very German sounding, and it's I don't know, it's weird There's just so much of Jewish history that ties them to Germany.
Of course.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And obviously,
Other than the big one.
Yeah. No, I mean even
Yeah.
before that. Way before it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Wow. Need to look more into that.
Frankenstein, huh?
But yeah, it's a thing. You
Doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Mark this down as suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a thing.
Who's the monster?
You hear the names and you go I don't know if that's a Jewish thing or a German thing. And it's funny because at one time they were probably just fine being the same, but now they're very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Events have made them very, very different.
Yeah.
God, that's good. That is a good story.
That is,
Yeah.
That's really good shit.
Sea monkeys.
See the sea monkey. It's just
And he bred the perfect one, too.
yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, he
and you had to dress them up.
Yeah.
'Cause
That
it's
blue
all
dye
about
thing.
the uniform.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Plus, did you say they had a train station?
No, they're easy to train.
Oh, they're easy to train.
Yeah.
They train on time.
Well, he did have an Italian wife, I suppose.
Yeah.
God, that is so stupid and tacky and
Yeah.
petty and basic.
Yeah,
And low stakes and playing at Nazi.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, I was thinking about those 83.
he was cosplaying.
Those- yeah.
I mean, not that there weren't real downstream effects from, the American
without
Aryan
question.
Brotherhood, but I mean, the heyday was gone. And so it is kind of cosplaying at it.
You know what I was thinking about those 83 guns? I was thinking that's for them to look at and talk about what they're gonna do.
Yes. While they're eating hot wings in a hot tub with a bunch of ATF agents.
Yes.
Yeah, but
No, seriously.
But those are all those. In essence, they're almost their X-ray glasses of sorts.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Very good point.
Yes. He is cosplaying, but at the same time, he wrote newsletters he made speeches with the N-word.
He lit the cross.
Saying,
my God.
Calling people mud people.
Jesus Christ.
Do you think that Sea Monkeys was a cloaked racial?
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of wonder, right? No, I don't think
these people of Talokan and Wakanda forever, they're just sea monkeys.
But that's he had that disassociation. He separated the business until maybe when he got older and he started making the weapons and body armor.
I mean, the fucking Steel Cobra is a good...
It's a good invention.
It's a good invention. It's a good market. The name
Great name.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Steel Cobra?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it the ad copy said, if you can't get a gun license...
You can get this.
You can get this.
Steel Cobra, it sounds like malt liquor.
It does.
Yeah,
it's King Cobra and Steel Reserve.
Yeah. Maybe that's how he got the name.
Dude, King Cobra.
Drink it in your ballistic garment.
Can you imagine going into a store and being like, I'll have a King Cobra?
Yeah. Well, I can't, but I know.
Jesus.
You're all out. How about Steel Reserve?
Steel Reserve? Anything?
Out.
Yeah.
Old English 800?
Yeah. Anything left in the toilet?
Is there any ice? Any sort of ice beer?
How about you melt down all that ice you got in the urinals? Throw it in one of those old Mickey's bottles.
Kick it up a notch.
Oh, shake it up.
Shake it up. Call it OE, baby.
Yeah, man. Steel Cobra is great. But I think
it also sounds like a modern glam rock band who only plays in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're Steel Cobra. Here we go.
But I think there's a thing about this too that is it shows the difference in the times, which is this is where in PO boxes and low budget mail order catalogs, this was where 4chan was.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so the Sea Monkey guy, what's coming through his PO box is probably fucking just another existence.
Yeah.
And it's all niche, weird shit.
Yeah, it's the dregs.
And very, very niche, very miscellaneous, very odd. And I liked, dabbling in there when I was growing up, but, you also got to realize, not every conspiracy is true. And
most of them aren't.
Yeah.
That's why they're conspiracy.
Yeah, it's, but also, those guys... They had less of a voice. Now
everyone's got a voice.
Now they have a voice, and it's obviously worse. Mm-hmm. Things are worse.
I saw today on the conspiracy subreddit. It was here's a picture of the back of the Apollo lunar module, and the guy's looks, it's held together with fucking curtain rods and duct tape, and. If you look at it as an uneducated, conspiracy-minded person, you go, "Oh God!" And then somebody goes, "Yeah, those are actually forged high-strength steel rods with, Kremlon high-temperature vacuum tape.
Yeah.
It's designed to withstand all this stuff.
Yeah, and it weighs 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, and then somebody goes, yeah, that's the stuff my tinfoil hat's made out of. The conspiracy subreddit has fortunately been infiltrated by reasonable-minded conspiracy theorists.
That's nice.
Who are this is bullshit. Shut up. We went to the moon.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason they go, maybe we shot a few extra scenes in Kubrick's garage.
Sure,
but we went every time.
I think
or maybe we did some pickup shots. Maybe. Well, and then the rest of they're all just shutting each other down.
Yeah.
And it's actually one of the more it's definitely
I appreciate that.
It's more reasonable than the Donald.
But the thing is that those stories when you hear about some of the cosmonauts and stuff where they're talking about I held the door closed with my hands.
Yeah.
like I had to do that so I wouldn't die.
Yeah.
Like it was a rickety fucking.
Yes.
It was bullshit.
Yeah,
It was a moonshot.
I mean,
I can't believe they did it.
I can't believe they fucking did it.
No, it's insane.
They did
It's
it with
absolutely
slide rules and pencils.
Same thing with 9/11. You go like, it's a couple of guys with razor blades.
I can't believe
That is the conspiracy is that a guy in a cave hooked up to a dialysis machine got people with razor blades to fly planes into towers.
Yeah.
Did other people, make use of a tragedy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I think that's the thing too, is that like, they're like, there's this thing where like people are demanding, like when they say, oh, it looks like it's like all taped together and blah blah blah. Like it's like, do you expect like Stark Tech in 1968?
And also, like, there's no air up there, so it doesn't need to look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
There's no air. Like it doesn't need to be aerodynamic when there is no air to be dynamic.
yeah, and you're going like, and what would you do?
Yeah.
Like how should it look for you?
Like tape works incredibly well in space.
Yeah.
Tape works incredibly well in period.
Yeah, dude, it's the best.
Yeah.
In fact, and like,
Remember that thing in Gran Torino? He just gives the kid duct tape and WD-40.
Yeah.
He's like, start there.
good place to start.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
worked for Apollo 13.
Yeah.
And that tape that they used was like $100 an inch back then. Now it's less.
Right.
But back then it was fucking the cat's meow.
Yeah. They might have even made that tape.
They probably invented it for that particular purpose.
Yeah.
Um,
The flat Earth stuff, you go like, well,
do you think TWA is flying up over Iceland to get to England for their health?
yeah. and like to keep this, I mean, a major secret.
The fact that illiterate Greeks knew, like,
Yeah.
A thing where you go like, and what is it? More bullshit from big shapes?
yeah, big sphere,
Yeah.
Remember in the cat?
big ball shit,
big spherical.
Big bullshit.
big ball shit,
Big
man.
flat balls. Remember in the first episode of Cosmos, when we were at the cabin at
talk
Big
about
Medical,
how they knew this.
Sagan is going, well, they figured out when the shadow is here, and then when they're over in this other town, and it's
shadow
over
looks like
here.
this.
Well, that it moved because
There's this round.
the other's round. It was like you're saying
Every other planet in the solar system is round except for ours. Is that what you're saying?
either you're saying I'm smarter than everybody in history, or you are dumber than a guy from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You didn't know how to watch it.
there's also a thing where it's like it's either having no faith or it's having way too much faith
in the ability of people to keep secrets.
and or just like when you go like, okay, well, 9/11, like you go like that was explosions or like whatever, but then also you just have no faith we could go to the moon.
Well, there's no faith in intelligence. There's only faith in secret keeping.
Yes.
Which is some weird dichotomy of
Doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like it's just like, okay, but what if it just was?
Yeah, there's this thing of like, okay, you think we faked the moon landing and Russia didn't know?
Yeah. I mean,
You don't think Russia will be the first person to fucking call up their dog that they killed up there and be like, yo, is there fucking people up on the moon?
woof, 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 woof.
Yeah.
2 barks for no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, China and Russia would be like, there's no shit up here.
Yeah, China and Russia aren't going, oh, they faked it.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, they beat us to the punch. We still haven't gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that was, they Sputnik first. That was a big
Dude,
fucking
Sputnik for sure.
Yeah,
Means
it's a big-
traveler.
big fucking deal. But yeah, like, I mean, once I read those,
And it was just proof of concept for an ICBM. That's what that was.
but the cosmonaut
And
stuff,
that was the whole space race in general.
it was like, I'm saying, like, like the stuff like dudes like improvising, like, oh, I'll put a bar here so the fucking door doesn't fly open, I don't die
in the vacuum of space.
or coming back into the atmosphere or whatever the fuck. And like, it was a fucking rinky-dink operation. They hadn't done it before.
So was splitting the atom.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a non-zero chance that we set off a chain reaction that obliterates the entire atmosphere.
Right.
Well, let's do it.
Oppenheimer.
Let's try it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Is it out yet?
No, I can't wait to see
I can't wait to see
No,
it.
yeah. Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
They were like, we might open a black hole, but we're still going to do...
The time is in the black hole. It'll disappear. Like, it'll only be a fraction of a second, which might be an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destroy
But-
everything around us, but that's fine. Yeah.
But that's a scene, like, those guys, they had like a band and stuff?
Yeah. Well, they invented the internet too.
The Hadron Collider people?
CERN.
Oh, really?
Yeah, CERN the internet was invented for particle physicists to talk to each other.
And then you find out they were nuts because it was like the Finnish one and the Japanese one that were saying they think people from the future are possibly sabotaging the Hadron Collider.
But then it worked.
Then it worked. Yeah. But that was like in the Guardian.
Yeah.
That they were
They publish all kinds of dumb shit.
But it makes you go like, man, fucking scientists are fucking insane.
Yeah, they watched Watchmen and they were like, oh, tachyons.
Yeah.
Tachyon!
Get over here. Yesterday, man. Tachyon, get your ass over here yesterday.
So that's
my favorite joke ever.
That's from our friend Nakia at a trim in 2016. And she's like,
Tachyon sounds like a black name.
Yeah, she said Tachyon sounds like a black name.
Tachyons are theoretical particles that travel backwards in time.
Yeah.
And when she heard that,
the
she was
movie
like,
10.
Tachyon sounds like a black name. And I go, Tachyon!
Yeah. And
Get over here!
And Nakia is
Yesterday, man! Get your black ass over here!
Nakia is a black woman actor, incredibly talented.
Yeah, but now the joke is being done through Aaron's.
No, it was my joke.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
Inspired by her going, Tachyon sounds like a black name.
Yeah. Tachyon! And she has like a thing for like names.
Oh,
Yeah.
she does have a thing.
Well, she's a great name. So
And for shouting.
And for shouting.
On faces.
She's, oh my God, her fucking...
She's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, her like appalled face with like those fucking eyes she does. And she has like... She's also Boston, which is hysterical too.
Yeah, Ked.
Real mess.
Yeah.
Real mess.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
Ked. Yeah. Oh man, she's so fucking funny.
Yeah, what a unique person.
Yeah, I love her.
Shout
Fellas,
out
I
to
think we
Ked.
did a great job.
I think so. We cracked the sea monkey paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got those stamps coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on to them, guys.
And they're scarce and they're free.
Well, I'm going to hypnotize you guys and steal them from you. So.
I think you already did hypnotize us.
Yeah. You did hypnotize us, man. That was a great profile.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to say goodnight. I love you.
Big thanks to Patrick.
Yes, Patrick Zog?
Oh, Zionist owned government?
No, it's Z-A-U-G.
Okay.
Z-A-U-G-G?
Yeah, something like that.
right.
It was
I believe-
his suggestion.
Yeah.
Name checked out.
I've talked to him before. He's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Great suggestion.
Yeah, really
was.
And also, thank you for not reading ahead.
Who, us?
No, him. I think I
Oh, did he?
I told him I was going to do it, and he's like, "Oh, I don't."
He stopped investigating.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's so
Sweet.
great.
I hope it lived up to it, man. I think it did for me.
it did. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the most amazing things about it is like, I do all these profiles where I read the whole fucking biography of the person, so you get like all of the knowledge. You're like, why did they do this thing? Well, we have so much to know, and this guy. No idea why he became a Nazi.
Yeah.
Not a single idea.
No.
But he did.
Experience.
That guy was probably really alone a lot.
Yeah, dude. He was advertising to people through the back of comic books.
True. At least Count Dante had a class.
Yeah.
You know, he had like people to interact with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dante.
God.
With the lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Count Dante.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Dude. Yeah.
Man.
And then both of them are like, these guys in the funny pages, they're like, I want to do violence.
Yeah.
I want like.
No wonder the government thought comic books are corrupting the youth. They were right.
Yeah.
These people advertising the back of comic books were psychopaths.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
It's a miracle that more comic book readers are not horrific serial killers.
Yeah.
Maybe they are.
Do you know, I'm sorry to do another little tangent here, but.
That's fine. People like it.
The thing of marijuana being Schedule 1.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Well, it's
on its way out.
because of the newspaper folks.
But it was, I mean, it's first of all, it was racism.
Without a doubt, it was racist.
But then it was also this thing of
hemp
like,
was a valuable.
but it was also a thing
commodity.
too where I think they're like, in the 60s, they're going like, oh, it's like fomenting revolution and revolutionary. But like, I didn't realize like
William Randolph
coke
Hearst?
and like heavy shit was like less, like scheduled less.
It still is.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck is
Coke
that?
and they're still scheduled less.
Yeah, well, but crack isn't.
No, crack is up there.
Yeah.
Crack is scheduled.
If you can figure out the difference.
Yeah, like you got like that should just be like basically like PCP. You know, I mean, I'm not.
There's not a lot that should be scheduled.
No, yeah. No.
Just don't do PCP.
Almost nothing
Yeah,
should
don't
be
Please,
do it.
Please don't.
But
End up like Big Lurch. Ruin your rap career.
Patreon, a few
folks.
people's lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
big lunch.
You rang.
Yeah, no, that I was that fucking blew me away. I was like, schedule what?
It's not a logic-based government.
No.
It's
No, but I mean, yeah, I think also like what you're saying, like there was trouble in comic books. I mean, we came out of there.
yeah, well,
So, you know.
Cheers, boys.
All right, Matt, I love you. Excellent profile.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Aaron, I love you too.
Likewise.
I love you guys
Job.
at home.
Send us money.
Yeah, we got to build this fucking studio, man.
It's gonna look so nice.
Yeah.
Christ,
There's gonna be a Sibian in there.
There's gonna be a Sibian.
And we'll have an
yeah.
OnlyFans
Yeah.
Mhm.
or a Fansly or a ManyVids.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
is ManyVids-
Matt's writing to legal porno right now.
Yeah.
Mhm. What kind of like what race of Sibian are you gonna order?
Human.
Hockey soda.
Okay, I like your style. I prefer sea monkey.
Oh,
The sea monkey Sibian.
easy
Hop
to
on.
train, man.
All right, I'm gonna say goodnight. I love you. My name is John Fahey.
I'm Aaron Peter.
That pursuit.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.
Starbane's Audio.